First, I was going to draw you guys something. I might be a little artistically challenged, so bear with me. Give me a second here. Uh, yep. Yeah, this is going to be Africa, just to let you know. So, not really pretty, but this is as close as I can get to it. Okay. So here's my point I want to start off with. My name is Ademola Okweyemi Salami. It's a long name. Don't understand what it means half the time, but I ask my parents and they teach me lessons about it. But they told me that I am Nigerian, that I was born, that my mother, father, brother, and sister were all born Nigerian, and that I'm fourth generation American. This country, it's so small, where Africa has 30 plus, countries in it. People just say, oh, you're from Africa, when really it's a continent. No, that's not the difference. But, that defines me. As an icebreaker, I wanted to talk about that and let you know that this country is where I find greatness. As much as I'm American and as much as I love this country so much, because of this place, I was able to come here and get an education, to move on, and to be at the Citadel today. So we start off with my name, like I said. How many of you, have ancestors from, Ireland, other places, so we all have heritage that's, not from America necessarily. We're all settlers, all immigrants. For me, my culture was something that I didn't like necessarily because I didn't really understand it as much. I wasn't able to have great-grandparents to speak of because, they're so far away, that's 100 miles at least, or plus more, sorry, away from, where I live at home. So I never really got that close connection to understand where I was from and how I could live in the certain cultures and aspects of family that we had to connect with. But with that, I was able to tell my parents, what's going on? Like, where do I get all my names from? Where do I get my certain, dialect, the way I can speak? And I have different languages because I can speak 3 languages. That's another story. But I wanted to know how I could speak Arabic and learn how to speak Yoruba, which is our native tribe. So they said that I came from this place in Nigeria called Yoruba, where my parents were born. They worked from the ground up. My father's grandfather used to do fish. He was a fisher, cultivated fishing. He got bass, he sold it, he skinned it, he sold it. And that's how he made his money. But what happened later on was that the Reagan administration decided that they could come in and make BP and Shell to take oil and everything from our land. So the oil would spill into the rivers, destroying the fish. Therefore, you couldn't do anything. With this, my grandfather had to build from the ground up, become a teacher to a principal to a headmaster of a secondary school. And that taught my father that education was important. With that, my father got smarter, more educated, and did everything he could to move to America. With that, he became a nurse, then a nurse anesthetic, then an anesthesiologist. My mother, after losing her father at the age of 17, was able to move on past that, that sad moment in her life, and be able to become an OBGYN and a midwife. So I'm plagued by greatness in my family, unfortunately. And so I hate it because every time, when I go here, they're like, oh, what are you doing? What do you want to do with your life? And I don't necessarily know. But I use that name, my whole name, Ademola Okweyemi Salami, to think that my first name, child of royalty, that I'm royalty back where I live, where I'm from, that I don't get the chance, or I get the chance, unlike everybody else that lives in Nigeria, to come here to do something better. Okweyemi, which means for this child I give thanks, because I was an early child. I was 2 weeks, 3 weeks early for my term. So I barely made it out of there alive. So thank God of that. And Salami, which means peace, which I'm a little crazy kid, so I don't take that one too hard. But with that in mind, it sets me to push myself forward, to set limits that I never thought were possible. And like you say, when I come here, you certainly dare to lead, or something, as you say. And I want to come here and push forward and be able to be the powerful leader that I can possibly be. I didn't honestly want to do Toastmasters at first. I'm not going to lie. I'm sorry. I apologize. But I saw, when I came to the business administration meeting, I saw Mr. Stewart from my company, going up there and talking. and the way that he was able to maintain the presence in the crowd, and necessarily there was a group of people talking, and the way he was able to move and keep them quiet, but also convey what he was trying to say to everybody else in the audience. It showed so much strength. It showed that your words are powerful than anything that you have. Like they say, the pen is mightier than the sword. And I really understood that moment. And I was like, I got to be here. I got to, first thing I ran in here, came in last Friday in the meeting, and, they're like, oh, well, you're new, I'm not sure about the icebreaker, but I was like, no, I kind of want to jump into things. That's me. I'm crazy. I like jumping into things and trying to, figure it out as long as I like to go. Colbert knows that. I mean, he's my best friend. We've been here for CSI, and, we do crazy things a lot. So he knows how I like to jump into things. But being able to speak is something that I want to craft and do so perfectly and so well. And with that name and everything that I do, that's why I say facing the adversity, because I feel for me, adversity is something that you use, whether it's your speech that you're showing, that you're able to convey everything that you want to let everybody know that, hey, my words are inspiring. You can do this. You can move on. You can be able to make a life for yourself that no one said you could be possible. Or the fact that with it, you have people like 42, first African-American baseball player, to be able to push himself and be able to play baseball and do things that no one said he could do. That's why I like adversity. That's my favorite vocab. Honestly, if this word of the day, if I had to pick it, I'd pick adversity, because that's what I love so much. And, at the end of the day, if I let you know, that's the one thing I care most about, is that you face on and you don't care about what other people say and face the adversity. Thank you.